till after the event, and we've reviewed to make sure it's recorded successfully, because Teams can be very hit and miss with that. So thank you again for joining us. We will be starting shortly. Good evening. Thank you for joining us for this webinar we're running on financially motivated sexual exploitation of young people, also commonly known as sextortion. Just to start off with, my name is Samantha Hancock. I am the Cyber Protect Officer for Derbyshire Police, and joining me this evening, working tirelessly trying to make sure everything runs very smoothly in the background, is the fabulous PCSO Sarah Dufton. I'm going to be talking through the slides this evening. As I mentioned already, we are going to make these resources available from tomorrow. We are also hoping to record the webinar. So Sarah, if you're ready to hit record for us, please.
Yep, all done. Started by me.
So Sam Hancock, PCSO Sarah Dufton here for you this evening. First of all, I wanted to start off with what is sextortion. And what we're talking about here is a form of online blackmail. And this is where essentially fraudsters trick victims into sharing intimate images or streaming video of themselves, and then that is then used as a threat to manipulate or extort the individual, either demanding money or gift cards or cryptocurrency, or sometimes what can happen is that person is coerced to provide more. So the threat basically is this is going to be shared on your social media and to your named contacts and friends, family, colleagues, etc. It's often actually carried out by organised crime groups from abroad, essentially operating a call centre type basis. And they even pay actors to pose as somebody that the victim may be interested in. Unfortunately, victims are often coerced into performing intimate acts on webcam and unaware that they're being recorded, and the footage then used to actually blackmail that victim further. What we have seen recently is a trend in terms of this targeting mid-teens and predominantly more boys than girls. But we often get asked, why on earth would a child go on to share intimate images? And whilst it's very easy to judge, not all children are actually coerced. Life is very different these days for young people, and many share images because they want to impress, flirt, or feel included. Often it's that case of everybody's doing it type of scenario. Sometimes they even believe that they're in a trusting relationship. Others might be under peer pressure or feeling excluded if they don't join in and being the only one, etc. But regardless of the reason for sharing images, we must take into account the fact that the child is never to blame if they're blackmailed online. This is all part of crime. I did just want to drop in here that this is not to be confused with what we would refer to as sextortion phishing emails. Now, these have been doing the rounds for many years, quite simply, and they often take a very similar format. In fact, if you read one out to me, I will tell you yay or nay whether it's phishing. So it essentially contains individuals' password, phone number, or address, some information about them. They then go on to claim to have infiltrated a webcam on the device and have footage of that person visiting adult websites and pleasuring themselves. They will make the usual threats of copying this to social media, etc. It's usually crypto in these scenarios that is demanded as payment, and they threaten to share the footage if you don't pay. And our advice is always steadfastly going to be do not pay and do not communicate. If you recognise a password that's mentioned in the email, it's essential that you change that password anywhere that you are still using it. These reports can be made to Action Fraud, or you can simply forward the email to report@phishing.gov.uk. So why now, and what is the scale of the problem? We ran this session initially last year, having seen an alert put out in April 2024 from the National Crime Agency to the education sector. Unfortunately, the number of global cases reported by the US National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, that's not a typo, it is actually an American center, actually doubled in 2023, rising to nearly 27,000, where the year previous was actually nearly 11,000. We don't currently, I'm afraid, have up-to-date statistics to give you, but we are very aware that this is still doing the rounds now and still a huge issue. All age groups and genders are being targeted, but we're finding a large proportion of these cases seem to involve male victims between the age of 14 and 18. 91% of victims in UK sextortion cases dealt with by the Internet Watch Foundation 2023 were in fact male. From the UK Revenge Porn Helpline chatbot assistance feature, they reported the overwhelming majority, 88%, were 18 or older. Excuse me. However, rather concerningly, there were 825 requests for support from children under the age of 18, and even more worrying, 170 requests from those who are under the age of 13. The Internet Watch Foundation removed 400,000 sexual abuse images from the internet in 2023, compared with 153,000 back in 2020. So it is a significantly rising in scale issue. Just to confirm what we would term as a definition of sexting, and that is the sending or posting of nudes or semi-nude videos, images, or live streams by people under the age of 18. Nudes and semi-nudes tend to be shared online via social media, gaming platforms, chat apps, forums, or involve sharing between devices using offline services. And by that, I mean something like WhatsApp or a messaging type scenario rather than through a social media platform. Alternative terms used by young people may include nudes, dick pics, pics. The motivation for taking and sharing nudes and semi-nudes is not always sexually or criminally motivated. Just a little reminder though, please, if you are involved in a case supporting a young person, please never view, copy, print, share, store, or save the imagery yourself. Appreciate you might be wanting to do this for evidential purposes, but it is actually an offence you're committing by doing so. And please don't ask them to share or download anything. Both of those would constitute an offence. So what is happening? The youngster voluntarily sends intimate images to somebody they believe they know or somebody they believe is their own age. They may well be encouraged, manipulated, or pressured into taking nudes or semi-nudes. They may be told their accounts have been hacked and the offender has accessed their reels or albums and personal information and contacts. Now, this may be true and it may not. It's very hard to tell. They're then blackmailed into sending money or meeting another financial demand, such as gift cards, after sharing an image or video, or the offender sharing the hacked or digital images. The young person may report being contacted by an online account that they do not know, but they believe to be another young person. This could potentially be contact from a hacked account of a child or young person they actually do already know and connected with, but then the nature of the communication may become unfamiliar. It results in quickly engaged in sexual explicit communications, which may include the offender sharing an indecent image first to coerce the recipient to actually then go on to share their own images. It's moved from chat on social media generally to an online platform or game to private messaging that is end-to-end encrypted, where they are less likely to be caught out. That is done deliberately. So the key points. These offenders are motivated by financial gain, not sexual gratification. It's not the images they're interested in, but basically what they want is the reason to be able to extort their victim. Financially motivated sexual exploitation is being carried out by OCGs from outside of the UK, sometimes using fake profiles and often using compromised profiles. It predominantly seems to be affecting males at the age of 14 to 18. Once you are made aware, it's really critical that we avoid any sort of victim blaming language and we seek support for the individual. Around the world, there have been, sadly, a number of suicides of young people, including here in the UK. So it really does need to be handled very, very sensitively. How can we reduce the risk? So let's talk about cyber protection in its usual form. Separate passwords for every single account, not containing any personal details, favourite teams, pets' names, etc. Creating passwords, best practice advice is to put 3 random words together. Ensure that your youngsters have set up 2-step verification in the security settings of the apps and platforms that they use. And importantly, this must include their email account as well. Make sure they know how to report issues to the platforms that they're using. Make a note of usernames and handles of any offending accounts. Use the free social media checklists that are available from the UK Safer Internet Centre, and we will make the link available so that they are aware of all the different settings and ways in which they can report an issue and reduce the risk. Make sure that young people are aware of the risks, that it could be a hacked account or a cloud account that's been compromised, and so they know what is likely to happen in this scenario. We need to educate. So the advice, I've got to reiterate, it's really important that we don't use any victim blaming language and make sure that they understand that this can be resolved. They should never pay or engage with the blackmailers because they'll only come back for more. Let's make sure we've reviewed those privacy settings. Talk to the youngsters about the importance of using those privacy settings that are available to them. COPS education advice section is really great for parents and carers. So we've put the link in there to that information. Make sure that young people understand the risk of accounts being hacked, messages accessed, and of course, they may not be conversing with the person they think. It could be a compromised account or, in fact, a completely fake profile. Make sure they know where to go for support. Let them know that they can come to you with concerns and that you won't judge them. And make sure that they are aware of other trusted adults and sources of support in case they feel they don't want to bring the issue to you. So this could be school staff, PCSOs, sports clubs that they go to, Childline, etc. All free resources. Make sure they know where to report. Remind your child how you can help them report an incident if they need to, or using the CEOP Safety Centre. Let them know that if a nude or semi-nude has been shared without their consent, they can take steps to try and get these removed. So in terms of what we're talking about here, the tools available are the Use Report Remove tool, a tool from Childline and the IWF. So they can remove images that have been shared or might be shared. It's quite technical how they do this, but if the young person has got an image on their device still, basically there are technical ways they can sort of label that so that it bars it from being uploaded in the future. There's a Take It Down tool from the National Centre of Missing and Exploited Children. This tool can be used to remove or stop further online sharing of images and videos. And of course, the third way is as we've already discussed, is to report directly to the platform on which the incident has occurred. For advice on how to report for the major channels, we've put a link to Internet Matters that will help there. For people over the age of 18, it is still a criminal offence sharing images without consent. There is the very fantastic UK revenge porn helpline. So for those of you who work with under 18s, what to do if an incident is brought to your attention? Clearly, you should report to your designated safeguarding lead or equivalent immediately. The settings child protection policy should outline the codes of practice to be followed. Just a reminder, never view, copy, print, share, store or save, or ask the individual to do that. You will unwittingly be committing further offences. In exceptional circumstances, it might be necessary for the designated safeguarding lead or equivalent to view the image to safeguard the child or young person. That decision will be based on professional judgment. If you have already viewed the imagery by accident, as in the young person has shown it to you, do report that so that the designated safeguard lead is aware of who may have seen the imagery and can document that. Obviously, seek support should you need to. Do not delete the imagery or ask the young person to delete it. Don't ask the young person involved in the incident to disclose any information regarding the imagery. That is down to the DSL or equivalent and will be as per your settings policies. It's vitally important you don't share information regarding the incident with other members of staff, or in fact, the parents or carers. Do not say or do anything that may blame or shame the young person involved. Do explain to them that you need to report it, it's a requirement by law, and reassure them that they will receive support and help from the designated safeguarding lead or equivalent. There are further resources available from the UK Safer Internet Centre, the Internet Watch Foundation, on the government website, and also there's some really great resources on the Lucy Faithfull Foundation on the Parents Protect side. Should you be interested in further reading, we have the Revenge Porn Helpline charity that I mentioned earlier. Internet Matters has the Look at Me report, which is really quite an interesting read, although it is starting to become a little bit out of date, but it's really useful for those that either have children or work with children. The National Crime Agency alert that has prompted us to put together this webinar is available through the CEOP website and is under Professionals Guidance, and the link is there. And then there's actually a copy of the PDF that went out to the education sector, which includes these websites, which may also be a useful source of information for you or your staff. I did promise that it would take less than half an hour, and I've absolutely whizzed through that for you. So I've been Samantha Hancock. Sarah Dufton is ably assisting behind the scenes. Sarah, I would like to come over to you now to see whether or not there have been any observations, comments, or questions in the chat, please.
Not so far, but I have just a couple of people have asked about the if the slides will be shared, but yes, they will be. And I have put a couple of links in, but you will get them all. So for the couple of people who joined us a little bit late, don't worry, because we send it all out to you with our contact details on it. So if you have any queries, concerns, or if you would like us to maybe do this webinar or come out to any of your organisations and do it, if you're particularly working with young people, then do let us know, and we'll see if we can get that sorted for you.
Whilst we're on the issue of sort of the services we offer services to all of our communities. So that can be businesses, charities, schools, all manner of different social and community groups. So we have a number of different webinars or talks we do either online or in person. That also includes doing inputs regularly into schools. So if a school is having a particular issue in this sort of arena, then we can look to do assembly type inputs for young people so that we sensitively raise the issue and talk to them directly, potentially about the risk in terms of oversharing. So again, just an email down to the cyber inbox there that's on the screen. I haven't mentioned earlier, but we do run Derbyshire Police Online Safety, which we try to update pretty much daily. This is where we will also advertise events we're going to. If you want to drop down and pick information up from us, we also use it to advertise the webinars that we run. There will be further ones towards the summer for parents and keeping youngsters safe online. Lots of information around parental settings and the importance of PEGI age ratings, etc. Then also will be another on cyber awareness, fraud and scams. Latterly in the year, we tend to focus on pre-Christmas type things, online shopping, Black Friday, etc. So lots of different things and subjects for you to become more knowledgeable about. This is what we do. If you are interested, please do share the information with any contacts you have, any community groups, any faith groups. Wherever there's an audience, we will attend. Sarah, if there isn't any more sort of questions loitering in the background, and please, by all means, if you've got questions you want to ask, concerns that you wish to raise, you can contact us via the email. We don't expect you to ask some questions in a public forum, so you're welcome to contact us afterwards. And my aim is to send this a PDF of these slides that you've just seen out tomorrow morning, along with useful information and links. We hope you found the input useful. We wanted to make it an overview rather than something in depth that goes on for quite a period of time. We'd also really appreciate feedback. So when you do get the follow-up resources, there will be a link on there that takes you to a very quick online survey in terms of the content and what you've learnt, etc. You may also email us to tell us what sort of things would be useful to you for us to cover in future, if we've pitched it at the right level, etc. We're here to help you. Please do feedback to us so that we can improve what we're doing. So thank you again for attending. If you want to stop the recording, Sarah, that's great. We'll get the information sent out tomorrow. Anything you'd like to add, Sarah?
I don't think so. No, I've just